In my household, I have my own jar of peanut butter, and Jen and LJ share a jar because... What is up, everybody? And welcome back to the Schooling Struggle podcast. It is our belief that the only guarantee in life is that we are all going to struggle, and how we choose to embrace our struggles is what empowers us to become the best versions of ourselves. How's it going? My name is Pete, coming to you from flooded Vermont, and with me is my friend and co-host, Mr. Mike T. Ellis. What's up, Todd?
It's Mighty fine. What's up, Peter? Are you still flooded? So thank you.
Yeah, floods are decreasing, subsiding.
Receding?
Looking for receding, yes.
Yeah.
It's really cool, all the love that I got from my friends and family that live outside of Vermont that were just checking in on me. It really made me feel valued and loved. It was really, really cool.
But you're not in danger of
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, many people in the state are, and their businesses are gone, and their schools are gone, and their houses are gone. A market and a restaurant that we would frequent in the summer, they're both gone.
What?
Gone. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check. Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
I live actually 2 minutes from the Connecticut River, and that is the river that separates Vermont and New Hampshire. And my daughter and I have a tradition of going down there. We try to get down there once a week. It doesn't always happen, but we went down there's an access road to it, and that was closed. That was a sign that it was probably a really cool time to go down there, right? So we parked next to the gate, we walked down the access road, and
You're those people, the onlookers of the flood.
We walked amongst the rubble that was left from, what's been receded.
The high point.
It was like a treasure hunt for my daughter with all the toys and all the different stuff that just got swept into the river. But the crazy thing is 13 miles up the river, in White River Junction, they're building a new bridge, and they were just starting the project, and they were laying the groundwork for the footings for the bridge. Yeah. And the stuff that they kind of made like a makeshift bridge to start pouring the footings. And that whole project just literally went completely underwater. It was like, 15 or 20 feet underwater, and giant sections of the makeshift bridge that they made just washed up ashore in my neighborhood. So my daughter was walking along these like 25-foot long pieces of the bridge that were still intact, like the railing was still intact. The river just picked them up, and they just floated 13 miles down the river, and then they just over waterfalls and stuff, giant pieces of this bridge. And I took some photos with my daughter just kind of playing on them yesterday. It was wild.
That is wild. That's that could be, depending how you look at it, it's been once in your lifetime event, right? Like this you don't remember this ever happening before? It
has happened twice. About 12 years ago, my wife and I were in Vietnam the year that happened with Hurricane Irene, and that was actually a little more devastating as far as impact than this, but some people argue not in certain sections. This has been worse. So
but that was an actual hurricane, not just torrential rain, right?
Correct. Yes.
Is this brought on by a storm, or is it just...
This is just like constant rain.
Wow.
So this was more rain over a longer period of time, whereas Irene was a little less as far as sheer inches, but just a shorter amount of time.
Interesting.
Yeah. But what happened with Irene, from what I understand, was that somewhere upstream, someone was storing a ton of propane tanks, and they all just got picked up, and they were just rolling down the rivers and just crushing all these bridges. As they were floating down. And I guess they were secured this time. There wasn't any propane tanks floating down the rivers.
Just like the Corps of Engineers they're going to be like, maybe our bridges should be a little bolstered a little more heavily.
Some of the bridges around here, they're iconic, and they're, hundreds of years old.
So,
Huh.
Awesome. Well, not awesome, but thank you.
That going on. And I think we talked about last August about my bee sting reaction, ended up in the ER. So I'm on bee sting therapy. I've been doing that. I had a little bit of a reaction to the venom that they gave me the other day, and they told me I had to take an extra antihistamine tonight. And by accident, I didn't read the bottle, and I took Benadryl, which is fine for what I need, but it's going to make me really tired really quick. So we got to get the show on the road with this show.
Let's go. Faux show.
So I've been planning for this episode for about 3 weeks now. I'm super excited about this episode. I've been crushing Todd with texts and emails in preparation for the show. I asked him to do homework, and he did, which I'm really thrilled about. The devout listeners to the show know that we do every now and again, we do a show called the 5x5, which is 5 questions, and we have 5 minutes to discuss each question. This is a rapid fire version of that. I call this the 10x2. So 10 questions. We each have a minute to respond. There is no timer on this, so give or take.
Right.
The episode's, just over
Maybe
30
the
minutes
longest
to 40
episode
minutes.
ever. Yeah, right. We'll see.
So we got to keep it quick. But yeah, 10 questions. I love this show to be tactical. And I think the listeners are going to be able to walk away from this show, at least having us as models, is some things that may be working for us that they could implement or try in their lives if they so choose. Or if they just want to laugh at us and tell us we're silly, that's fine too.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let's go.
I'll read all the questions and then we're going to alternate who goes first.
Okay.
I'm going to let you choose if you want to go first with number 1 or number 2.
You're going to go first.
Number 1, what is a daily habit or habits to which you are committed that you feel enhances your life? So mine is my pre-bedtime routine. And my pre-bedtime routine completely hinges on, I've learned, the quality of my book. So if I have a really good book that I'm into, my bedtime routine, pre-bedtime routine is completely on point, and I land the plane and I have a great night of sleep. If I'm not into a good book, then I avoid my bedtime routine, and I'll go down a YouTube rabbit hole or text with my buddies or something, and it really disrupts my landing of the plane. Therefore, my sleep really suffers. And my pre-bedtime routine is after LJ goes to bed, I do the dishes, and then I try to, and don't always get this, but I try to do some sort of stretch. And if I don't stretch, then I'll take a hot bath. Then I'll take my melatonin pill. Then I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll write in my journal. And my journal is something from the day from LJ's life. And I know I've talked about that in past episodes. And then I'll read myself to sleep. And right before I put my book down, I'll just put a podcast on that will really just kind of put me out. And when I follow my routine, and I probably do it 6 out of 7 days, it is magical with how it helps me sleep. And then we've talked about the benefits of sleep. So nice. I'm a huge believer in the pre-bedtime routine. You got to land the plane to have a really efficient night of sleep.
So that's the reason why you keep doing it, is for the sleep factor.
Correct.
Thank you. Mine is obviously completely flip-flop of yours, except for underpinning it is the sleep as well. So every morning I wake up, most mornings, I won't say every morning, but most mornings, I go.
No, I think you do wake up every morning.
No, I definitely wake up every morning, unless I didn't sleep, and then that's a different situation.
Today I don't wake up, I'll be so pissed. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
I mean, yeah, well, it does happen. So I will go sit in my hot tub, and then there I do meditation, and then from there I come in, and now I've added, thanks to Dr. Bill Slamon, 3-page journaling, which is fantastic. We can talk about that later. From there I go to CrossFit, and then when I return from CrossFit, I do yoga for 45 minutes. Well, 30 to 45 minutes. And if I don't do those things in a day, and with the other things that I've added post that, now I'm doing some schooling and stuff like that, I can definitely tell a difference between how I function at those things and how quickly my irritation level may or may not go up, depending on if I've done it or not. And then at night, I feel like it's because of this, but I definitely stick to this better if I sleep well, and I definitely sleep well if I stick to this. So I don't know if those two things are joined, but yeah, that's my answer to that, daily habits.
That's awesome.
Number 2.
This is the second episode that you've referred to your classes, and I want to talk about that in a future episode, but just for listeners, in the last couple of months, Todd has been laid off from his career job, and he's now taking classes to move forward with some really cool stuff he's interested in.
Yeah.
But I want to dive deeper into that in a future episode. So when he refers to his classes, that's what he's up to.
Stick a pin in it.
I practiced these 10 questions with both my wife and my daughter.
Surprise.
Which was awesome. And Jen said, "Hey, are you going to ask Todd this question? For these habits, are they the same on the weekday and the weekend? Do you do them 7 days a week, or is there days that you purposely deviate from that?"
Yeah, I do it every day if I can.
So do you CrossFit 7 days a week?
Oh, no, not that. Right. So I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's rest day, Friday, and then sometimes Saturday, or else I'll go running. So typically 6 days a week I'm doing something, or I guess I would make it 5 days a week. But yeah, but CrossFit's not every day. Good point. But I try to yoga every day if I can. So
yeah, when I say 6 out of 7 days, there's usually a night on the weekend that I fall off the train. And yeah. So
yep.
All right.
Good question.
Number 2.
Good question, Jen. Nice work. Number 2. Let's go.
Number 2.
My turn.
The book that has most positively influenced your life.
Ooh. Can we break it into fiction, nonfiction? Okay. So I have 2 answers. So The Dark Tower by Stephen King, the entire trilogy, the entire series, I think there's 7 in the book, 7 in the series, changed the way that I got back into reading. Like I'd never got into a story that was so enthralling that I couldn't not wait for the next book. So I just ripped right through them, which I think was part of why I liked it so much. But Dark Tower by Stephen King, and Mindfulness. I can't remember the entire name, but something about easing your mind in a frantic world. It's the same book that I got you. That book has obviously laid the framework and the bricks for everything that I've built on top of Buddhism and mindfulness and all things spiritual from there on out. So that's been the most profound insofar as like my personal life, I guess, is the best way to put that. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I found for this one, it's hard for me not to have some recency bias. I think oftentimes the later that I've read the book, the more I feel it has influence on me now. But two big ones are How to Win Friends and Influence People. I love that one. And then my recency bias would be Atomic Habits. Both of those books I think were fantastic. I really do love Atomic Habits. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Next question.
Go ahead.
A podcast that you find interesting and enjoyable. So I'm a complete CrossFit Games nerd, and I have like 3 or 4 that could do a super nerd out on that stuff. But I think the average listener probably wouldn't be interested in any of those. So what I decided to share was Chasing Excellence by Ben Bergeron, which started out as a fitness podcast, and it's still fitness, but also very mindset based. And there's another one by a nutritionist who I think the world of, and her name is E.C. Sinkowski, and the name of the podcast is The Consistency Project. And it really boils down some really complex nutritional concepts into really layman's terms that I can understand. And I think it's a fabulous podcast for anyone who's interested in learning about the nuances of nutrition and how to fuel one's body.
Interesting. Yeah. For me, the strange part is when we started talking today, me and Peter, I said this number 3 is going to be a sticking point for me because I don't typically listen to podcasts, except for this one when I'm going back through and writing show notes and listening to it for my own enjoyment. But that's a shameless plug, and I can't borrow that. So actually, I forgot about the Impact Theory podcast with Tom Bilyeu. So I grew up with Tom Bilyeu, and that's probably been in a couple different stories. But it's a very tactile. It's like here's a topic. He interviews people of great significance, I guess you could say, culturally to some people. And what comes out of it is he distills it down into something that you can use to make your life better. And I haven't listened to it in a long time, but when I was listening to it, like I was definitely drinking the Kool-Aid for both those reasons, because I know who he is and then I know what he's about. But anytime you go back to the Impact Theory podcast, you can definitely pick up something for yourself to learn. So 2-part answer.
I feel like a genius is someone who can like understand really complex concepts, and then like a super genius can take that and boil it down in layman's terms for people like me and make it understandable and usable for digestible for people like me.
Yeah. It's always just interesting. Like, and every time I listen to it, it just seems to be like something that I've always been like, I wonder how. And then it's like, oh, that's fantastic. So yeah.
All right. You are evens. So we are on number 4.
Here I go.
Number 4, a kind act that someone has performed toward you within the past 24 hours.
This one was interesting because I don't know if it was act of kindness directly, but I don't think it was intentionally act of kindness. Last night, Jocelyn, when I came home I was across the state, and I came back at like 6:30, and Jocelyn's mom, her name's Renee, she's like, "Oh, my mom's coming over for dinner. She'll be here by the time you get home." And so I got home, and shortly thereafter, she came over, and she shared like a whole host of stories about her adventure to the Midwest. That it was just. We laughed so hard. And I was just like, I never get to laugh with this lady like this. And it was a culmination of sad stories and happy stories and like occurrences that happened to her. And I thought, what a random, I don't know if it's an act of kindness, but I felt like genuinely moved by the fact that she was here and like I got to spend time with her. So that was my random act of kindness.
That human connection thing. I think there's something there.
That was really cool. And I wasn't expecting it. And then there she was, and she's just full of life. And I was like, oh, awesome. So yeah, it's cool. How about you?
Mine's gonna be very difficult to say in a minute or less, but I'll give it a shot. I got a phone call or text from my brother that said, "Hey, I want to have a business meeting with you. Can we carve out an hour to chat?" And I was like, "Yep." So we did that. So I'm going to back up and just give a little background. My brother was a traveling musician in a band for 10 years, and then took what he learned in that world and started creating fitness music. And he has done incredibly well for himself with his level of creativity and his knowledge about all things digital marketing and media and music creation and photography and website design, all these things. He's really an amazing individual. He can do whatever he wants at this point. And he said, "Hey, I remember this idea that you had over 10 years ago, and I'm ready to implement." And to be honest, he could implement this thing without me and just crush it. He said, "But since it was your idea, I want to give you the freedom to kind of run this project and to partner with me on this project and to give all your thoughts about this. I really am curious to know what you want to do with this." And I think that if I were to do it and he were to do it, he would do it way better. So he doesn't need me, but he asked me to be a part of this, which is a really big deal for me. Yeah, so I'm really excited to launch. I'm not going to speak much about what the project is because I don't want to spill any beans yet. But there's some really cool stuff that he's working on in his business, and to ask me to be a part of it was a really, really big deal for me. And
nice work.
Part of it might have just been charity, and part of it maybe thinks he can benefit from my presence and that I actually can add value. But either way, I thought the fact that he gave me the chance to kind of opt out because he's going to move forward with this idea that I had, he let me make that decision. I thought that was really kind of him.
Wow. Check that imposter on your shoulder, huh? Tell him to get
cool.
out of it.
All right. So
number 5.
That's an odd. So I'm odd. And more.
You're odd, all right. You couldn't have been any truer on that one.
What is an underrated movie that you would recommend to someone who has similar interests as you? I love documentaries, and I am not a movie buff outside of documentaries by any means. I could probably name like 4 actors and actresses on that's it. Whenever people quote movies, I'm just completely in the dark, except for like 2 movies. And my movies that I think that are underrated, that at least from my world, that I think a lot of people haven't talked about, is the Tony Hawk documentary on HBO. Whether you're a skateboard fan or not, this is a really, really great case study into the human psyche. It's a really fascinating documentary, in my opinion. I also grew up as a skateboarder in the late 80s and 90s, so I had a little bit more of a connection to it than some others might. But the dude's 50 years old, and what he's doing on a skateboard today is just incredible. It blows my mind. And then another one just for fun, for poops and giggles, is a documentary on Netflix called Class Action Park. And it's about a water park in the 90s that was just like off the cuff, unsafe. And this thing existed. They did like interviews with people who used to work there, just how it was just a crazy party and all the injuries and all the stuff that was happening with this water park back in the 90s. And it was just like I think for any kid today to watch it, be like, that actually happened. And then for me to be growing up in the 90s, like I really connected with that one too. I was like, holy crap, I went to water parks that allowed people to do this stuff. I went to water parks where people got hurt that same way. It was just a really, really fun watch for me. So like nothing deep, euphoric, or meaningful, but just a really fun watch. Class Action Park on Netflix.
I'm gonna check. Where do you find these shows?
I have friends that know that I love documentaries, and they're like, "Yo, have you heard about this documentary?"
I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Do you call documentaries a movie? Is that right?
Yeah, I do.
Is that where you're going?
I do.
Okay. So they're not like a series. Well, they might be, but
they are. Yeah, on Netflix they are now. You can get like 8, 10, 12 like episode documentaries.
Okay. Yeah. So I was putting my mind in a different space there. I don't know. I watch movies, and I don't watch many documentaries yet, but of the movies that I find interesting, it's usually like, especially if they're underrated, a lot of times it's things from our past where I'm just like, the kids will be watching it like, no way. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty cool movie, but I totally forgot about it. The one that I watched recently, it's not a good movie, but of The Wraith. I don't know if you ever watched that. It's like that from the early, I don't even know, late 80s. It had like, I don't even know. You have to go check it out. It's The Wraith. But one that came to mind immediately when I saw the question was Lucky Number 11. So I really like movies that you don't know what's going to happen till the end. And then at the end, you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. So Lucky Number 11's a good one. And I talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you hadn't watched many documentaries. So write these 2 down too. These 2 are amazing. These
I wrote them down. Yeah.
These have a little more critical claim than 2 I just named, but Blackfish is about the orca whales in the SeaWorld industry, which is pretty crazy. And then another one that I loved is called A Man on a Wire. And it's about the guy who tight-roped the Twin Towers, like back in when were the Twin Towers built? Whenever the Twin Towers were being built, I don't remember the decade. He snuck up there and like had this whole elaborate plan, and he wanted to hang a rope between the 2 buildings, and he did. And
he's the only guy he's probably the only one that did it, right? So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Are you getting tired yet?
6. Never when I'm talking to you.
Oh, yeah, nice.
All
Number
right, so
6.
you're even. So this is you.
Yep.
Do you invest money? If so, what is your investment approach or strategy?
Oh, I do invest money. Historically, my strategy has been highly aggressive. So I just find things that I like, or that I'm like, "Ooh, that's interesting," or even if I like if even the company name will hold some meaning for me, and I'll just invest in it blindly. So I've done pretty well actually on investments of that type, but now that I've been laid off, like I'm pulling back a little bit from being so aggressive. But interestingly enough, I think we were talking about this the other day. Most of my investments now are going into technology derivatives, so like AI and stuff like that, things that are just making money. And I'm kind of like I'm kind of in the middle about how I feel about that, because I don't really like what we're building, but at the same time, I'm going to need wealth in the end for the end game of my life, probably. So, yeah, but that's where I stick my money, and that's how I do it.
So is the large majority of your investments in stocks?
Yeah. Yep. The largest amount. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I invest money too. Jen and I are pretty deliberate about that kind of stuff. Currently at least 15% of our income goes toward that. So that's
Nice.
kind of an important number for us to hit. We each have a 403B, which is equivalent to a 401k just for government workers. So we have a 403B, and then we each have a Roth IRA, and I just have a real buy and hold strategy, high quality funds. So like a lot of the funds I'm in have like over 9,000 stocks in them. Many of mine are more on the aggressive side. Jen, not as much. It's just her personality. And I'm big on buy and hold. Less than 2% of my money is on single company stocks. Just a lot of funds. Doug Anton, who's been on the show twice now, opened my eyes to world funds. I was just investing mostly in the US, and now I'm getting into some world funds too.
Wow, nice.
But just buy and hold. I don't really sell much, hoping that the historical 10 to 11% gains will pay off for Jen and I down the road.
Yeah.
And I just opened up a 529 for my daughter to college savings thing. For people out there that have kids that might be going into college, I'm not an investment guru by any means, but I learned that any money in the kid's name goes against them for tuition or financial aid. So you're actually better off to put it in your own Roth and then give it to your kids when they need it, versus putting a ton of money in their name like in a custodial account, because that's the money they go after first when you're looking for financial need. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I recently had to cap off my I didn't historically hit all the contribution caps when I was working, and now that I didn't, to offset the taxes, I've just dumped cash into my retirement and my Roth. And one thing that I've done there, because I know, well, not because I know, but because the CD rates are so good right now, I just bought a whole boatload of CDs, which is really 1-year CDs. So I didn't do that before, but that's another way that I've expanded recently that I did.
The savings account. The savings accounts, because we keep an emergency fund. I mean, forever that's been below 1%, and that's at 4% now. So that's nice too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are predicting that if we go into recession, that's going to drop way off.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right. Number 7, I'm odd. So what is your number one quick go-to snack or meal? I have a bunch. I'm going to rattle them off real quick. I'd say my favorite, and this is kind of when I really want to indulge, in my household, I have my own jar of peanut butter, and Jen and LJ share a jar, because I like to take a handful of blueberries and a handful of almonds and throw them in the peanut butter jar and then eat them until the berries and the almonds are gone. And then I'll cap the peanut butter and put it back in the fridge. I like my peanut butter cold. Another one that is super simple is you get a ramekin. If you don't know what a ramekin is, it's like a really small dish. Think of like something you could put like a ping pong ball in. A little glass dish you could buy at Walmart for $1. And I just crack an egg in there, scramble it, put a little cheese on top, put it in the microwave for 29 seconds. Sometimes it'll pop and make a mess in the microwave at 30 seconds. So keep it at 29. And that's an amazing snack. Put a little salt and pepper on there if you really want to go crazy. So that's super quick. Sometimes I'll do that. And then while it's in the microwave, I'll make a second one and a second ramekin. So when that one comes out, I'll pop the other one in, eat the first one for 30 seconds. 30 seconds later, the second one comes out, eat that one, and I'm good to go. So that's like less than 2 minutes. 2 eggs with cheese. Another one that I love is a bowl with cottage cheese, some fruit, and I buy a chia hemp mix, just with some seeds in there to get a little protein in there too. So that's really nice. And then I don't know the brand name, but if you go to where they sell like the chicken sausages at the grocery store, at least in my grocery store, it's the shelf above them. They sell chicken meatballs, and they're like in a green container, a green package, and they have a ginger teriyaki chicken meatball that is friggin' to die for. And you can put 3 of those on a plate, put them in the microwave for 26 seconds, and they are so good. They're so good. So those are my protein snacks.
Wow. How's it?
And then my the one that I have all the time, I just have for breakfast every morning, is just 2 eggs fried. And then I throw the 3 meatballs in the pan, flip it over, pull it out, put it on the plate, and then put a handful of spinach on top of that. And then I just eat that. And that's amazing.
Wow. You're so tactical. 29 seconds, 26 seconds. Because sometimes at 30, that thing will
I've
blow
experimented with it to see what's the perfect number.
Yeah, I bet you have. I was wondering, though, how many watts is your microwave? Because those actually differ.
I have no clue.
So somebody might go, oh, I got a 1,500 watt microwave. If it missed your 750, I'm blowing up in 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I've ended up with egg all over the microwave many times.
Yeah, that's a disaster. Favorite what is it? Number one quick go-to meal or snack. So I don't really have a number. I eat a lot of pork rinds. I eat a lot of high-fat foods. So pork rinds are delicious. I just love pork rinds because you just open the bag and go to town. I also do a chia and a hemp with almond milk, like a porridge. Like I just boil it all together, kind of like cream of wheat or
okay.
I can't think of anything else that's like that. But and then I put frozen blueberries in it at the very end, so they just get it warm enough and that's delicious. Apples and almond butter, that's always a fantastic one of mine. And if I had to think about the favorite, I would say frozen blueberries and coconut milk. If you put coconut milk or just straight coconut milk from the can, like the fat coconut milk, on frozen strawberries, it will coat the strawberries in like a coconut. Like a frozen coconut husk, and they are so delicious. If you like cold food, it's probably the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
So you take a bowl, put the blueberries in, pour the coconut milk. Is the coconut milk at room temperature?
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
you store it in the cabinet. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So then you pour the whole can, or just a little bit of it over?
I mean, it depends how much fat you need for the day, but I just go till it's like cereal. Like it covers it covers them, and then you stir them up, and then just coats each one perfectly. They're delicious. It's just delicious. Okay. Yeah.
And then, sorry, I'm going to get into some nitty gritty here.
Yeah.
Go. Peanut butter and almonds. I love that too. Do you use an apple? Sorry, not peanut butter and almonds. Apple and almond butter.
Yep,
apple and almond butter. Do you use one of those like apple slicers that cuts into like 8 slices?
The push down guy.
Core?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I actually eat the core too because I love I love the taste of apple seeds, but they're not good for you because they have high arsenic value. But I like them, so whatever.
So then, do you take a knife and just put like a slab on each slice, a slab of almond butter on each slice of the apple?
If I'm being honest, I just open the quart jar and just dip to my heart's content.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll dip it in, I'll take the apple. If I don't want to eat as much fat, I'll take the apple and I'll just dip it in chia seeds so it coats the apple, and then just put a little bit of almond butter on that. Depends on where I'm at, but yeah.
And then can you walk me through the hemp porridge real quick? How to make that?
Yeah. So it's 8 ounces of Costco unsweetened almond milk, not the vanilla, but just the standard. And then I do 3 tablespoons of chia, 3 tablespoons of hemp, and then I don't know however many blueberries you want. But you just bring the hemp and the chia and the almond milk to a boil, just a real quick boil, then let it simmer till the chia starts to expand, and then take it off of there, and it just slides right out. And then you just put in the blueberries. And sometimes I put I crush walnuts and put in there too if I need extra fat. But it's pretty tasty. Yeah.
And are you keto? Like
most of the time. Yep.
Most of the time. Yep. What's the saying? I'm 100% vegetarian 80% of the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I don't have a hot dog tattoo on my forearm. So
all right, number 8. You are evens. Number 8 is, what is your favorite go-to workout?
Annie. CrossFit workout Annie, which is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 ab mats and double unders. By far.
Right, so you do 50 sit-ups with an ab mat and then 50 double unders. That's when you jump and the rope goes under your feet twice in one jump.
Correct.
You can do 40 of each, 30 of each, 20 of each, 10 of each.
That's it.
That's great.
That's my go.
I have a couple, and a lot of it depends on the time of year for me. So if I'm trying to bulk, it's different. But 111 burpees for time. I really like that one. That's a classic one. Anything Tabata. Obviously, I use my brother's music for all of it, but like anything Tabata, just 8 sets of squats.
What's your favorite Tabata movement?
Alternate 2 movements. I really like box step-ups and planks, just mixing those two. That's nice. Jumping squats are great, and jumping lunges are brutal. So
they'll smoke you every time.
Yeah. If you can get through 8 rounds of unbroke without taking a break, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, of jumping lunges, you're good. And then as far as CrossFit workouts, Jackie is probably my favorite go-to, and that's a 1,000 meter row followed by 50 thrusters with a 45-pound bar. You can Google what a thruster is.
Gross.
Followed by 30 pull-ups. 30 pull-ups.
Yeah.
So row, thrusters, pull-ups.
Jackie. Nice.
Good. And my brother right now is really into 100 calories for time on the Echo bike.
Ooh, that's
just
a
set
good
his
one.
PR today. He did 4:56 today. So sub 5 minute 100 calories on the Echo bike.
I'm going to try that in the morning. I like the Echo bike. Everybody's like, oh, why would you choose that? I was like,
oh, I love the Echo bike.
It's not forgiving because like the Assault, you let it go and it'll just keep clocking. I'm like, no, we don't need that freebie.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool. Number 9, that's me. What is the worst piece of advice someone has ever given you? So after dating Jen for a year, she was wondering if I was interested in the long haul. And at that point in my life, I still didn't know. And I was asking a lot of people what they thought about, marriage, and asking people of all different experiences with relationships, what their perspective on it. So I asked people that were divorced, people that were happily married, people that were miserably married, people that had been divorced several times, people that had never been married, just kind of picking people's brains. And a lot of people said, oh, you'll know when you want to get married, because when you know, you know. And that just didn't work for me, because I didn't think I'd ever truly know. I don't know. It's that was not helpful for me. All the people just said, if you know, you know. And I think if I had listened to that, I probably would not have married Jen. And that was the best decision of my life. We just have an awesome marriage. I'm super psyched that she's my lifetime partner. So that was just really nebulous for me and not helpful. People just said, well, when you know, you know. And I was like, well, I don't know. And then I know I've shared this in the past. I was talking to a UPS guy, and he said, I knew I wanted to marry my wife when I realized that 20 years from now, if the physical attraction is gone and all these other things, the excitement and the emotion and the newness of it is gone, I still want to have dinner with her. I still want to have dinner with her and look across the table and have a great conversation with her. And I was like, I do want that from Jen. So that was very helpful advice.
Interesting. Maybe it's just that you didn't know what you did, what you, well, let me back that up. When you know, right? Like he knew it was dinner, but you were like, I don't know, like what one aspect would be the thing that I would know, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. I don't know what he knows or what you don't know, but the worst piece of advice someone has ever given me, it's cliche these days, but it's along the lines of fake it till you make it. I think that's complete nonsense. Like if you're going to spend your time faking something till you feel like you've made it, how much time have you wasted faking it? It seems like you could just be real and not make it and be okay with that, as opposed to I'm just going to be a faker and then maybe I made it. I don't even know, because you're just faking. So I hate it when I hear people say that. I feel like that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So
that's funny, because I feel like that's the story of my teaching career.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I've just been pulling the wool over people's eyes for 18 years
I've
now.
ever met. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't feel it. Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like fake it. I don't know if I'll ever make it.
Wow.
But in your eyes, I made it, so that's good.
I feel like you're a good teacher.
Thanks. Yeah. All right, number 10. In the last 5 years, what belief or behavior has most improved or positively shaped your life? This one is the most challenging for me to narrow down and to answer. And it was for my wife when I ran through the 10 questions with her as well.
I think, I don't know if it's been in the last 5, but I feel like I've sharpened the pencil substantially in the last 5 years on this point, is that given a long enough timeline and enough intent, you can do legitimately anything you want to do. And I think that if you format your behaviors in a way that aligns with your values and the long-term intent of what you hope to achieve, there's nothing that can stop that ambition. And I feel like every step you get closer to that, it will positively shape everything in your life and in proximity to you, no matter what you do. That's my answer.
Yeah, I struggle with that. I think that's awesome mindset wise, but physically, just because of how our body breaks down as we get older, like there's things that we literally can't do because of certain timelines or genetic predispositions. Yeah.
Your mind goes to the physical aspect. Is that?
It does.
Okay. Interesting.
If I decided at age 20 that I wanted to play in the NBA, that's just never going to happen. It's just not. But I don't think that the physical stuff is the really important stuff in life. So when you're talking about being able to do anything you want to do, well, let's back that up. Well, why would you want to be in the NBA? Oh, because it makes me feel this way. Well, why do you want to feel this way? Oh, because of this. All right. So that's the thing. It's not going to the NBA that your goal is. It's you want to feel a certain way.
Yeah. Right.
How can you chase that? So mindset wise, absolutely. And I think that supersedes any of the physical stuff.
Like the action. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have a lifetime goal that I want to run a marathon. All right. Well, why do you want to run a marathon? Is there other ways you can experience that fulfillment or purpose through doing something else that your body can do? Yeah.
Makes sense. So your answer would be?
Mine is really coming to an understanding about what it is that I have control over and what I don't, and really working hard to let the stuff that I don't have control over slide off my back, and really putting my time and attention and energy into what it is that I do have control over. And I've come so far. I used to worry so much about what people thought about me and how I impact their lives and these things. And I tell my daughter every day her job is to work hard and treat people well. And if I do those two things every day, and I lay my head at night and reflect back on my day, and I really have been successful with those two things, however I want to define success and with those metrics, I've been the person that I want to be that day. And I think I was not able to do that 5 years ago, and I still have a long way to go. But here's a good example. We have a really good friend who has a kid that's the same age as LJ. And the other day we found out that we were with this family early in the morning. We found out that later in the day, our friend was having a birthday party for his kid who's in LJ's class. And Jen was like, did you get an email about the invite to this? And I was like, no, I don't remember getting an email about the invite to this. And he's always invited us to the birthday parties of his family. And Jen's like, I didn't get an email. And then Jen started to get worried. She's like, well, do you think maybe we offended him? Maybe we did something wrong. Maybe, why wouldn't he invite us? And I just said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in good standing with that family. I've treated them well and they've treated me well. And if they didn't invite us, there's a reason for it. And I'm completely at peace with that. It didn't eat me up even for 1 second. Oh. And come to find out, he said, I sent the email to both of you. So either it went both to our junk mailboxes, or he didn't send it to the right place, or we got it and never saw it. Whatever the reason was, we didn't get it. But I didn't lose not even for a split second did I get uncomfortable. Whereas 5 years ago, I would have been like, holy crap, what did I do? I'd spend hours and hours like ruminating on like all the interactions with that family. Yeah. Wow. And now I'm just like, oh, like,
good for you.
I'm working hard and treat people well. And that's comforting. Yeah.
Yeah. What a relief, man.
Super. It's so liberating.
That is so liberating. Awesome. I couldn't imagine what that weight of lifted weight would feel like.
Yeah, there was two colleagues that I had in my former school that I was always worried about what I was going to say or what I was going to do was going to offend them or hurt their feelings. Wow. And then I realized that everything everybody did seemed to do that with them. So I just had to let that go and be okay with who I am. Yeah. Nice so work, that's Peter. A big one. And then the other one, and I've shared this in past episodes, is I'm really coming around to the fact that how anybody interacts with me is more a reflection of their life experiences leading up to that interaction than what I did wrong or, wow. Whatever. So I used to like, my feathers would really get ruffled if it was someone that I didn't know and they were rude to me. I'd feel like, oh, well, I got to get them back by being just as rude, What? And now I'm just like, yeah, like that person is having a tough day or that person has some stuff they're working on and I'm cool with it. Like, it's all right. And it's liberating.
Wow. When did we first meet? How long has that been?
2017.
So not very long after you had that realization. You said 5 years, right? Because you didn't strike me as anybody.
Todd, I remember feeling so uncomfortable with like some of the texts you'd send me, like, oh my gosh, did I hurt his feelings? Like, did I say something? Oh, wicked.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't because our interactions were primarily just digital. Like text or emails. Yeah. You talked on the phone once. You came out and visited, and then after that, it was just all text. You'd I'd send you a quote, and you might question it, and I was like, I love that now, but then I was like, holy crap! Like, wow, I definitely said or did something wrong with this guy.
That's so crazy because like from my perspective, and this is what's so cool about different people's perspectives. From my perspective, it was always like, I can't wait to send this to Peter to see what he's going to throw back because it's going to be so different than what any of my other interactions would be. So like, that is so crazy to hear you say that because I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, great work. I couldn't even imagine what that's nuts.
So I've come, it's very liberating. And,
what's your wife say about that? If you feel like sharing, if you don't, that's fine.
Yeah. No, she's like, we're working on this stuff together. Like we talk about these things together. Like, and I just shared that with her and she's like, yeah, you're right. She's like, yeah, that's all right. And then it turned out it was just communication. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to see you guys.
It turned out it was really easy.
We don't.
Right.
Nice work. One bonus question to finish out.
Bonus.
I thought it'd be fun to just finish on this one.
So it's going to be on you. Bonus.
What is a day in the calendar year that you find yourself really looking forward to?
It's yours.
Either of us can go first because it's a bonus.
I mean, we could rock, paper, scissors. I went on the last one. You go this one.
I really love July 4th, and it's because it's the only time of the year that I see a big bulk of my family. When I moved up here to Vermont, and a lot of them moved south to Connecticut, I just don't see them often. So we all get together, classic small town United States.
Awesome.
Hometown USA, parade, fireworks, the whole, like, the kids decorate their bikes in red, white, and blue and ride them in the parade, and they throw out candy with the fire trucks, and I get together with everyone and see friends, see family. It's a great, great day in my year.
Independence Day. Nice. Would it be the same if it wasn't the 4th of July? Like if it was the...
Yeah, it would be the same.
The 3rd of August would be just as swell?
If those things happen, it's not even the parade and the fireworks, just like that's when everybody congregates in my family. Yeah. We'll be there on the 4th of July. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I don't, my answer is a lot more selfish than that. It would actually be my birthday, because historically I do whatever I want on my birthday, regardless of the repercussions. So I've lost jobs because I take my birthday off. People are like, and I just met somebody the other day that did the same thing. She's like, I always take my birthday. I was like, no way. So this isn't just me, but typically on my birthday, my wife Jocelyn also behind the scenes always sets up like some of the most epic things I've ever done. Like one day we got in the car and I went up to the top of this waterfall. I got a massage and stayed there for hours. And then we walked down to the bottom of the waterfall and drank champagne. It was like, what? I never saw that coming. But she always somehow seems to make that day even more special, because I usually just reserve it for the things that I want to do. And then at the end of the day, it turns into something that she and I do, and then whoever else she involves. So, but it's always on my birthday. So yeah, my birthday.
Cool. What day is your birthday?
April 22nd.
Nice.
Birthday. That's me. That's right.
Birthday.
Yep.
I knew this episode would be fun. That went by so fast. I love that.
For sure.
Thanks for doing the homework.
Yeah. Thanks for sending it my way.
So before we sign off, a quick reminder to the listeners out there: schoolingstruggle@gmail.com. And if you have any ideas for shows, if you have people that you know that would be really great interviews, any feedback you want to give us, schoolingstruggle@gmail.com.
Awesome.
With that said, the 10x2 is officially in the books. 10x2 would have been 20 minutes, and we doubled that. So let's call it 10x4. We appreciate your ears. We thank you so very much for your time. We are incredibly grateful for your attention. We are the Schooling Struggle Podcast, and we are out.
See ya.